Bonjour et bienvenue à Fax. Cette émission vous est présentée à partir du Rockfest, un festival rock entièrement présenté au centre-ville de Montréal. On vous en reparle un peu plus tard au cours de l'émission. Notre premier sujet aujourd'hui, c'est sur le nouvel album du groupe de Tea Party. L'album s'intitule Transmission. Sur l'album, on retrouve encore des sonorités du Moyen-Orient, mais cette fois-ci, le groupe y a aussi incorporé des atmosphères techno. L'album Transmission a été entièrement enregistré à Montréal chez Jeff Martin, le chanteur du groupe de Tea Party.
Cosmopolitan aspect of Montreal was very alluring to me on the onset. Like, I've lived here now for, 4.5 years. And that was the one thing that allured me from the onset. The first time the Tea Party ever played here, being the hopeless romantic that I am, it was kind of like, came to Montreal and there's all this acceptance of different cultures.
Two things that we've always been about, like trance. Like, there's always been a trance aspect to our music where you sort of lose yourself when listening to it, almost like a mantra or something. And then the other aspect was that we're always applying new sounds. On our first album, we did it through unique tunings. The second album, we did it with unique instruments. And this album, we're incorporating those two things, but also we're adding, you know, a new sort of electronic aspect to the music.
I guess you've experimented also sampling on this record, and I was wondering if you took some shortcuts instead of playing music samples. Did you take those shortcuts, or you wanted to play those sounds yourself still?
The only time really where sampling comes in on this record is sampling the rhythms of very, very old acetates of folk music from different cultures. For instance, like the song Transmission, or well, actually,
that's a good one.
Yeah, actually, the song Transmission coming from an old acetate of Lebanese funeral music, for the most part. We just grabbed like a certain snippet of this rhythm that was going down with dumbeks and dolaks and all this stuff, and we put it into.
We looped it.
We looped it, really. And then the challenge was like once you could pinpoint the loop and put it into proper time signature, marrying that very cold electronic thing, this sample, to Jeff Burrow's drumming style, and putting the two together and fusing them together in an alchemy that would make sense, right? And that was the most challenging thing for this record, was the alchemy of organic material, like a rock band, an organic thing, married to industrial processes. You know, not industrial in the term that we've come to know, but industrial in the sense that it's all like very cold technological things using samplers and computers and whatnot, right? And putting the two of them together and blending it in such a way that it was fluid, and not that the line dividing the two of them was black and white. One of my cousins, who was a real stoner, wanted to, I don't know, but he wanted to educate me into what was, you know, really the Beatles, what the Beatles were all about. And I was 10 years old. I'm going, I don't know what it's all about, right? And so he bought me this record of Sgt. Pepper's,
Okay.
right? Which is, you know, that's when the Beatles really were at their creative apex, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the first song that caught me on that Beatles record was the George Harrison track, Within You, Without You, right? And basically that was like a Beatles lyric superimposed by George Martin onto this beautiful Indian raga, classical raga. At the time, it was so exotic to my ears. Being so young, I was so infatuated with the whole thing that from that moment on, I was intoxicated by any music that sounded like that, from whether it was from India or Iraq or Iran or Azerbaijan or Turkey or Morocco. Anything that sounded like that, for some reason, just like totally grabbed my ears.
So it's been a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. And now it seems that as a composer of music and, you know, composing rock and roll songs and whatnot, it seems to permeate anything I do. Whatever type of melody that comes forth through me, you know, being a medium or a channel for creative energy. Because I think that's what we really are as individuals. If you strip away the ego and you strip away the psyche, you know, it's just really, we're all about channeling this thing. That seems to be coming through me. That's all the vocal melodies that I emit through, you know, my voice box and whatnot. That's more comfortable for me. It seems the most comfortable medium or vehicle to express myself. And so that's pretty much, that's the synopsis of why we sound the way we do, why I create in the way that I do. We're very curious as individuals. We like to amass all of these tools that aid and abet us in expressing ourselves within our songwriting. Right? But if there comes a time where we feel that our songwriting merits a stripped-down version or a more naked, more exposed version on record, then we'll do that.
À New York a eu lieu un méga concert baptisé le Tibetan Freedom Concert, un spectacle organisé dans le but de contester l'occupation du Tibet par la Chine. Au programme, plusieurs artistes très conscientisés, Radiohead, Michael Stipe, le chanteur de R.E.M, Noel Gallagher, le guitariste de Oasis, Alanis Morissette et aussi les Beastie Boys.
You're looking gorgeous.
20th century, go to sleep. You're plasticine.
Why is the Tibet cause so important to you?
I like it that there's a place in the world where people haven't stooped to violence, and I think that's a really strong lesson for everyone.
Any oppression around the world it makes me very angry, and Tibet is one of the most visible symbols of it. So to be part of this and help raise consciousness of people here in America about what's being done to people around the world is very important to us.